This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Welcome back to What's Up Waco, the podcast that loves to introduce you to the people, the places, and the properties that make Waco an excellent community to live. Hey everybody, welcome back to What's Up Waco with your host Erica Boisvert, and today I am joined by the lovely Lindsay Dane. Hey lady.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. It looks really cool up here.
Everybody says that. They're like, "Ooh, it's fun." And it's a gorgeous day outside. So I love it up here. It's fun to see Waco from the height. The height. This is like the tallest building in town.
Right. It's been a while since I've been up that many floors.
Right?
Yeah, 21.
So many.
Yeah.
Well, luckily for elevators exist. Luckily for us, elevators exist.
Right.
I'm a little slow today. You know that, but I'm letting people who listen, it is what it is. This is real life. It's been a week. But thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
No, I'm so excited. So we've talked about this for a while about getting you on the show, and life is what it is, and we're both very busy ladies. And so I'm super, super stoked that you were able to be here today.
Me too.
Well, good deal. All right, let's get into it. So you are an author
Yes, ma'am.
now,
Yes.
but that's not how you started out your adulting.
No, that's
No.
not how I started at all.
So tell us a little bit about what you were originally doing and how it led to you being an author on, like, in the library, at
Yeah.
Fabled, on Amazon. Like, what? Blown away.
So cool. I do remember as a child saying, I want to be an author and illustrator, but never in my life did I ever think that that was possible. That's
Did
like
you
saying,
really?
I want to be a country music singer. Well, doesn't everybody? But I never did pursue that at
Right.
all.
That's amazing. So you knew. Oh, see?
Yeah.
So listen to your inner child sometimes.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Well, I went to school to be a teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
I was an elementary teacher. I taught kindergarten for a while.
I can just totally picture you in that role.
Yeah. Oh,
You
it
must
was
have been
so
great.
fun. It was so much fun.
Oh, that's such a cute age.
Oh, thank you. Well, and I had a friend who was deaf. And
Okay.
she taught me some sign language. So
Okay.
when I was in college, I always took a fun class. And so I decided to take ASL.
Mhm.
And I loved it. It was so much fun. I took every class that I could take.
Okay.
And then the program that I went into required a foreign language. Well, I had one, which was
Nice.
ASL. So,
That's neat that qualify. You wouldn't think that it would
Right?
qualify as a foreign language,
Yeah.
but yeah,
but it does.
that's so cool.
So I graduated in elementary education
Mhm.
and was a kindergarten teacher for a while.
Mhm.
Then later decided to go back to school, and I decided to look into deaf education. And
Okay.
so my friend Moe and I were going to move to California and both go to college together, and that didn't really work out. But I found an awesome program in St. Louis where they teach children who are deaf how to listen and speak. And that's not anything that I'd ever heard of
Wow,
before.
yeah.
And I went and checked it out, and it was awesome. So I went there and got my master's degree.
So when you say how to listen, do you mean like intentional, like listening, or
Yes. So
okay, or just
Um,
different ranges of deafness?
Well, deafness can be improved if
Okay.
you choose to have it improved with
Sure.
hearing aids and cochlear implants.
Implants. Okay.
So if you have a hearing aid or cochlear implant, then you need to learn how to listen for those sounds. So when you have access to sound, then you need to know what sounds are important, which is speech.
Right.
So I learned how to teach children to listen and speak, and I learned about
That's
their
amazing.
devices. Oh, it was so cool.
Well, and it's stuff that those of us that are born hearing, that's what your brain is doing for the first 3-5 years of your life. And we don't realize that our brains are doing that.
Right.
And so if you just jump in at age 4 or 5 and you missed all of that, okay, that makes sense that it would be needed.
It is super
Oh,
cool.
what a cool, yeah.
So I got my degree in deaf education, but I went to school at Washington University School of Medicine. It
Okay.
was hard. It was very hard.
It doesn't sound
I
easy. School of
Appreciate
Medicine.
people with white coats so much more than I did before I went to school.
And, oh,
But
I get it.
yeah, I went to school with audiologists.
Okay.
And part of the reason for that was we took some of the classes that the doctors took so that as teachers, we could bridge the gap between parents and doctors.
Oh,
Because sometimes, you go into a doctor's office and you're deer in the headlights and
Oh,
don't hear
yeah.
anything that they say. And then what do you do with that?
Right.
So,
you're like an advocate.
yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. But as a student, I didn't understand any of it. It's a completely different language. I
Okay.
came in as an educator. So a lot of people came in with speech and hearing disorder type things, communication disorders. So they had some kind of a health background.
Okay.
I didn't have any health background. So a word they used a lot was pathology. Well, I
Mhm.
don't know what that means. That means problem. They talked about cerumen. I don't know what that is. It's earwax. But so
yeah.
it was, I had a big
Medical
learning
terms are their
curve.
own foreign language.
Right.
It
but as-
really is.
But as a parent, imagine
Oh, yeah.
you found out that your child cannot hear,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're trying to listen to all these words too.
Yeah. No.
I can't imagine. So,
No.
yeah.
No.
So, anyways, long story short, I graduated, moved to be with my husband. They didn't have work as a teacher of the deaf, so I just taught in a general education classroom.
Okay.
Years later, I lost my voice. What does that mean?
Yes.
Well, every year at the beginning of the school year, I would lose my voice teaching kindergarten because I talked so much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this time I lost it and it didn't come back. And at first I wasn't concerned about it because, oh yeah, this
You're
has
used to
happened
it,
every
right?
year,
Yeah.
right? But it didn't come back and didn't come back. And I
Mm-hmm.
got to where at church I couldn't sing anymore.
Oh.
And it was really irritating. So I
Yeah.
finally went to the doctor and they're like, oh, you have silent reflux. Okay. So gave me medicine. No, I didn't. So that didn't help.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
That was
And-
not it.
Yeah. And I went to speech therapy. I ended up going to speech therapy twice,
Okay.
which gave me a totally different perspective because as a teacher of the deaf with an emphasis in speech and audiology, I've never been the patient.
Okay.
I did not like being the patient.
Oh.
It
yeah.
was not fun.
You're like, wait, no.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
but the school was awesome. Like the women that I worked with were so cool. I worked
Aw.
5 days. They
Mhm.
ended up hiring another teacher who could work 2 days for me so I could have,
A couple days.
a
I
day
remember reading
off.
that. Okay.
yeah, and they were so awesome. But I just got to a point to where, okay, this is the sucking the joy out of my job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not making any money as a preschool teacher.
Right.
And if I'm mad all the time, this is not fun.
no.
Because I think,
Ugh.
you know, I'd tell the kids, or I wouldn't tell the kids. I would think in my head, I can tell you to get in line 10 times, or I can read you a story, but I can't do both.
Mm.
And I got to where I couldn't read to my kids at home at nighttime.
Oh.
So we
no.
started using YouTube. Have you ever seen read alouds? You know how people just read books
Yes,
on
yes, yes.
YouTube? Yeah, so people read books to my kids on YouTube. Yeah.
So
and
that was hard.
Oh, yes,
that was.
it was.
Oh yeah.
It was. It was. But my kids learned a lot of sign language, and so did my husband.
Neat.
Because I had a couple weeks where I couldn't talk at all, like zero, nothing, because I was told not to talk.
Okay, so they're like,
Yeah.
rest your vocal cords, rest
Mhm.
everything, and it'll come back.
When we want to see what it looks like without them being irritated.
Okay.
So anyway, I ended up leaving my job. It
Mhm.
took me a while, but I talked to my husband and I was like, throughout my life, I have written some stories and I have learned that my love language is words. I'll write you a love letter. I'll write you an I'm mad letter. You know, I'm just a letter person. So throughout my life, I felt like God's reminding me, hey, don't forget, you know, you want to be an author. You want to be an author through years and years and years. And finally, at this time, whenever I'm like, okay, well, I can't be a teacher anymore. What
Right.
in the world am I going to do?
Mm-hmm.
God's like, well, remember,
How about this?
you want to be an author. And look here, now, this is the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your kids are going to go to school. How do you say it? I'm trying to think of the word. E-commerce, that's the word.
Oh yes.
E-commerce is a thing. There's digital
yeah.
art programs. You know, people are doing things that they couldn't do 10 years ago. There's self-publishing and print-on-demand services. Where years ago, if I wanted to self-publish something, I'd have to
Oh gosh.
order 1,000 copies of a book.
Right. No,
People
and
can't
pay
do
for
that.
It. Yeah.
Right, people can't
Ooh.
do that. So God's like, here you go.
Well, and not only that, but if you hadn't gone the education route, you wouldn't have learned about that type of teaching or that need or that community,
Right.
which led you to one of your coolest books. I like the cochlear implant book.
Thank you. I do
I think
too.
it's so cool because it's something that I think is overlooked. Like when you said ASL is the third most popular language in the United States.
I think.
So it's up there.
Yeah.
So that's amazing to me because that means that's a third or a fifth or whatever of this country that's how they communicate and those are things that they see. And then other kids see it. So I don't think your book is only for the child who has it, but it's also children who are around a child who has it.
Exactly.
Right?
So
It's
my
great.
so when I went to school, I told you it was really hard.
Yeah. Medical
Um,
school.
and as a teacher,
Uh-huh.
I like things that are very simple. And
Okay.
so I can explain things to little kids in a very easy way because I like simple.
Right.
And so the
You
way
like
that
saying earwax.
right.
Yeah. To the
so
point.
the way that I wrote the story actually is how I understood the information.
Okay.
And so it's for anyone. Anyone
Yes.
will learn something from
Yes,
it.
that's true.
But it's called I'm Getting a Cochlear Implant, Learn About How It Will Hear.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks about what is sound.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sound is perceived. You don't perceive all sounds, even people who have typical hearing.
Right.
But these are the parts, and this is how it works. And then this is how me and this little girl are different. So the little girl in the story is deaf.
Mhm.
I am not.
Mhm.
And we both have a piano, but I have a little man who plays my piano and she doesn't. So the cochlear implant is what plays her piano.
That's, yeah,
And
I know.
so-
it's just so genius.
And what I'm talking about is the auditory nerve and hair cells and that sort of
all
thing.
the things.
Yeah, but explains it in a kid-friendly way. So there's
Mhm.
two parts. There's a story part and then there's an explanation part.
Absolutely.
And the explanation part really is more for the person who's caring for the child who has some kind of hearing loss
Mhm.
because it's so hard to understand. So my goal was to think of all the questions that you would typically have, write
Oh,
all
yeah.
the answers, and that's in the back of the book.
I-
So if you want to know what hearing is, this is what it is. Do you want to know what sound is? This is what it is. What is hearing loss? It's just a break in the path
Mhm.
from A to B.
Right.
And then the device that you choose depends on where the break in the path is.
Mm-hmm.
So my hope is that parents and teachers can read this and understand a little bit better. Because actually, when I taught kindergarten years ago, I had a little girl in my class who was deaf.
Okay.
And it's funny because most of my kids were Spanish speakers.
Okay.
So we were learning English, we were learning Spanish, and I taught them sign language already.
Nice.
Then we had a child come in who was deaf. So all of my class already knew some signs, which
That's
was super cool.
awesome.
But she had this device called an FM system,
Okay.
which plugs into her hearing aid, and then I wore a microphone. And the goal is to make the sound, the distance that the sound
like
has to
shorten it?
travel shorter.
Okay.
Right? So the distance is just from my mouth to the microphone instead of my mouth all the way through the air to
Wow.
her
That is
hearing
so
aids.
Awesome.
Right. But I didn't understand. They told me, you need to wear
Sure.
this. This is how it helps. And okay, yeah.
Sure,
But
I'll put it
sometimes
on.
I forget. I didn't know. But
Oh.
after going to school, oh my goodness, now I know the disservice that I was giving that child, but I didn't know.
Okay.
You know,
That's
so
fair.
Whenever these children are coming into the classroom, those educators need to know.
They do.
They need to understand what they're dealing with. But then also the little kid can come in and be like, hey, you see this thing on my head? This story is about me.
Right
And they can read
here.
the book to their friends.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Because I think it's all about access, education, and really just like opening up our minds. Do you know, like in our community, are there any children who, do you know? That's a weird question.
I
because
have
why
asked.
Would you know?
I've asked. I think there's one child in China Spring who
Okay.
has one, and I live next to a lady who works with him, and so I gave her a book. And I was
Okay.
like, please give him this book from me.
That's awesome. Okay. I'll tell you why I was thinking about that after when we head out. But that's very neat. Okay. So, but you have other
I
booky
have
books.
a lot of books.
And I did do you a disservice because I didn't explain. First of all, this is audio, so I'm sorry, but I will put up some pictures of your books. The illustrations are done by you, and they're so adorable.
Thank you. They're so fun.
They're
It's so much fun.
I wish people could see. See, sometimes my husband's right. I should do video instead of just audio because your face lights up so much when you
Oh.
talk about this. It's really, really neat.
It's
Which
so fun.
Also makes sense when you think about, what your website is. His
Oh,
Little Light of Mine.
His
You
Little Light of
light up.
Mine.
We'll get into
That's
that at the
right.
end. But okay, so tell me about some of your other books. I know that one's one of my favorites. But
Well,
what
thank
else do you have out there?
So I have a teacher book. I have a personalized book that you can make for your
Mhm.
teacher. And as a teacher, I love to personalize things.
That's so cool.
So it's a love note to the teacher from you, and you're more than my teacher, just so you know.
Oh,
You are all of these things, and what's special about it is I put the teacher's name on the cover, and I put a special whatever message you want inside with a photograph, because I have the whole book, so I can change it and make it however you want.
Because it's all just digital, and then that is amazing.
Yeah, that's what's very beneficial about learning how to do all of it is I don't have to ask anybody to help me,
right?
And I don't need to, ask the illustrator to do whatever because I'm the
You're
illustrator.
the illustrator.
Yeah.
You're not, can we do this? Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Yes,
That's
we can.
so cool. I wish I had kids elementary age.
Well, and this program is so cool. I would love to teach more people how to use the program. It's called Procreate.
Okay.
It's for Apple iPads, and anybody can draw on this program. It is amazing. It is so
okay,
cool.
but there is some artistic talent that is required because not anybody can do what you do, ma'am.
Thank you.
I could not. I'm sure it's a great program, and you're great.
Well, thank you.
For being so gracious about it. But this is definitely a talent that you have.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, I've taught my daughters how to use it, which has been
Very
so
cool.
fun. So I have two little girls.
How
They're
sweet.
12. Well, they're not little anymore.
I know.
They're 12 and 8. Sibling rivalry is a big deal at
Mm.
home. And so I have a whole list of all these books that I want to write. Well, one of them is called Everything is Better with Sprinkles.
Okay.
And it started with the oldest one years ago. We were just eating a donut, and she's like, Mommy, everything's better with sprinkles.
She's not wrong.
I'm like, everything? Really? Everything?
I'm thinking.
So in my book, ice cream is good with sprinkles.
Sure.
Bananas are better with sprinkles.
Yeah.
I'll eat broccoli with sprinkles. And at the end, it talks about how sprinkles make everything better mystically, magically,
Mhm.
And so the last page is a little girl, and she's trying to put sprinkles on her sleeping sister.
Oh. Well, yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's very relevant to what's going
Oh
on
my gosh.
at my house.
And
right
that's
now.
what inspires you.
Yeah.
You're girls, and you're
Oh,
like,
for
yes,
sure.
I'm writing a book about
Oh,
this.
for sure. Oh, yeah. And
Yeah.
since I've started being more creative,
Mhm.
I feel like once you kind of
Oh, yeah.
open up
Floodgates.
and yeah,
Yeah,
but
totally.
my family, my husband is more creative, my children are more creative, and
Ah.
we're always, oh, that could be a book. Oh, this could be a book. Oh, that's a great character name. I'm going to write that down.
I love that your family's so involved with
It's
it.
so fun.
Because at first, when you started writing, it wasn't so easy peasy.
No.
No, you were experiencing some hardship, some turmoil, some trauma, big life decisions. How did that work out? I mean, because you had to get your husband on. I don't want to say like you had to
Well, there's
But,
a
you know, that's a
story behind
conversation.
that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had been thinking for a while, the last year of school, this is not for me anymore. I can't do this. I can't teach well to these kids. I need to be
Right.
singing all the time. I need to be reading all the time. And I can't do that.
And you're hurting and frustrated, and
Right.
that's not good for anybody.
Right. And so I had been thinking, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to talk to him about this? And he's amazing. He's wonderful. We went on a vacation to Key West, the
Ooh.
first vacation we've been on since we had children, and our
Oh,
oldest was 10. So it'd been a long
yes.
time. And so we were there for a week, and it was amazing. And it took 3 times for me to talk to him. We were at dinner. I'm like, hey, I need to talk to you about something. And then I'd start welling up. Like, never mind.
Like, nope, not right now.
Let's try again. Okay. And so finally, I was able to talk to him. And I'm like, I really think that this is what God wants me to do.
Mhm.
And I would like your blessing. And he's like, yeah, go for it.
Love it.
And we wrote a book together because of that trip. But one of the things
Oh,
that
yeah.
was amazing about that trip is in Key West, there are a lot of art galleries.
Mhm.
And I'm not into that at all. But now I am, sort of.
Really?
Yeah. But
I
there
would
was.
think it would call to you in a way. No, you're just like, that's
No.
boring. I don't want to.
Yeah. no.
Okay.
But now that I do art, I really pay attention to things that I never noticed before.
Okay.
But one thing we saw was an original sketch from Dr. Seuss.
Oh.
And I feel like God whispered to me, he started somewhere too.
Oh.
Everybody started somewhere.
That's
But
very
if
true.
you go to Key West, there are chickens everywhere.
Oh,
everywhere,
gosh.
everywhere. And they cross the road. They're like pigeons. So when you're eating your food, instead of a pigeon being next to you, it's
There's
a
a chicken.
chicken.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
And they're like a protected species.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
in Key
that's-
West. You
well,
can't
that's
mess with the
interesting.
chickens. So the whole time we were at Key West, at Key West, we kept talking about why the chicken crossed the road. Oh, the chickens crossed the road. Well, I don't know about you, but I love souvenirs, and I'll get either a Christmas ornament, so we look at it
that's
every
the best
year,
one. Yes.
or a book because I love books. My girls have tons of books. Well, we wanted to go find the book, Why the Chicken Crossed the Road. And in this little bitty island, there's probably 100 gift shops. And there was not one book called Why Did the Chicken Cross the Road in Key West.
In a town full of chickens.
But if you go on Amazon now and you type, Why Did the Chicken Cross the Road in Key West? It is written by Daniel and Lindsay Dane.
Oh, that's the one you guys did together.
Yeah.
Okay. That is so fun. I love all of it. So how, now you said if you go on Amazon and type it in,
Mm-hmm.
what did that feel like when your books were available on Amazon? Is
So
that
cool.
crazy?
Oh, it's so cool. It's so neat. Yeah, my daughter said, she's like, Mom, I typed your name into Google and your picture popped up. Like, oh, well, hopefully that's all that popped up. But it's been so cool. I feel like God has reminded me, hey, you don't decide what you can do. I decide what you can do. So
Yeah.
stop worrying about whether you have an art degree, whether you've had art classes, whether you are a designer, a graphic designer, or editor, or whatever. Hey,
Right.
follow my directions. Look at all the opportunities. There's nothing that you can't do without me. So it's been super cool.
Well, and that's cool too, because that's a great perspective, because that's such a worldly thing to put on somebody, whether or not you have a college degree, whether or not you check this box or meet this parameter, blah, blah, blah. Like you said, with him, we can do all things.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if you have that stuff.
That's right. But if you remove the ceiling
Mhm.
off of yourself and just follow
Do.
directions,
Mhm.
it's so cool. Now, I'll tell you, I've been able to figure out the writing and the illustrating and all of the things except for marketing.
Oh,
Marketing
Now
is
this we've talked about.
so hard.
It
It's
is.
so hard because I'm not the salesperson. I hate selling stuff.
But it's also, it
Ugh.
is just overwhelming.
Oh, yeah. And social
and
media,
nonstop.
there's so much social media. That's the
Mhm.
first thing I'm hiring out.
Mm-hmm.
I do not.
You're like, done.
Yeah, because my kids are like, I want to watch TikTok. I'm like, no. Well, Mom, you're on TikTok. I'm like, well,
Well,
yeah.
that's different.
Yeah, it's different. You can't watch YouTube, but I have a YouTube channel.
But yeah. But that's part of it, though, is keeping things safe for everybody. But at least we know your content is safe.
Oh, my content is safe. And actually, we've come full circle. So remember when I told you that somebody was reading books to my
Oh,
kids
yes.
when I couldn't talk?
Yes.
Now, my daughters and I are reading books to other children all over the world.
That's awesome.
And they're our books, my books.
your books.
Yes.
That really gave me chills.
Me too.
That's so
I'm
fun.
so excited.
Talk about full circle. Talk about faith and trust and just doing. Your story's like the epitome of it. Really.
Well,
Don't you feel like that?
it's so cool. I'd love to see some more dollar signs.
Ah, yes.
But God's like, wait.
Well, he
just
never
keep
promised
going.
us that we'd be rich.
No,
just that
he
we'd have what
didn't.
we need.
But you know what?
Hmm.
It's been so fun to trust him
Mhm.
and to inspire others to trust him.
Yeah.
One thing I'm excited for my girls to see is when they look back, wow, Mom, you did all of those things. Wow, you really trusted God. Well, why? You started your own business. You built your own website. You
Yeah.
have a YouTube channel. Like, weren't you afraid? No, I wasn't afraid.
No.
You know, or my husband's right there. Like, he is my biggest
Aw.
cheerleader, which is awesome. I told him, I was like, if you don't believe in me, there's no way I can do this.
Ah, that's awesome.
But he is the biggest cheerleader. But
Mhm.
I've inspired other people to try things.
That's so great.
Because I follow this girl. Her name is Terry Savelle Foy. She's
Okay.
awesome. She's the sweetest lady. She's got a little Barbie voice, which I just love. But I remember saying something about it. And right after that, my voice, don't make fun of people.
Oh.
Anyway, she is awesome. And I'm sure she was probably quoting somebody, but she said that the richest place in the world is a graveyard.
Huh.
There are books that weren't written,
Yep.
songs that weren't written,
Mhm.
dreams that didn't
all the
happen.
potential that wasn't
Yeah.
realized. Yeah.
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 So if I can inspire other people to just try, why not? Then I'm very proud of that.
Ah, I love that. And I love the fact that you're so authentic, I think is super helpful. Because I've seen you several times.
Yeah.
At meetings here, meetings there, out in China. Like, we've run into each other. So your voice was gone one of the times we ran into each other at Rain.
What?
Do you remember that?
That's right.
Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah. Anyway, sorry, tangent. But you are always the same.
Oh.
which I appreciate.
Oh, good.
You're not a different person in different, sometimes you'll see people in one setting and they're this way, but you are very authentically who you are anytime I've seen you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you. It's refreshing.
Yeah. The voice thing, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, oh man, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Shouldn't I just like have an 8 to 5 or?
What? Why did that make you wonder?
Well, think about being a mom.
Yes.
When you're
You
at
do
home.
talk a lot.
When you're at home, though.
Okay.
Can you relax at home? There's always things to do. The kids need something. The kitchen isn't clean. There's always laundry.
Mm-hmm.
You can't relax. Well, that's my home, plus my work is at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I love it. And I want to be in there all the time. But I can't really relax at home because there's always something to do.
Yes.
So sometimes I'm like, oh, I just need to like go to work and come home and be home and not think about anything else.
Yep. I get that.
But God reminds me because sometimes I'll lose my voice.
Mm-hmm.
If I get sick, I just don't talk. But like for the first couple of years that I have left teaching, this is my 3rd year. So year 1 and 2 for sure, right before school started, my voice went away. And God's like, see, you would be losing your mind right now worried if you were getting close to the school year. Oh, yeah.
Did that honey help at all? Were you able to try it?
I think I did.
Okay.
I don't remember. I just don't talk.
Well, I just don't talk.
Yeah, and
That's
we joked whenever it first happened. My husband was like, yeah, I prayed for you to be quiet. Like, that's not funny. That's not funny.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
He's like, but I didn't mean like this.
Yeah.
Definitely not indefinitely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're on Amazon, but also your books can be found locally.
Yes.
Do you want to tell the people where they can find your book?
So my cochlear implant book is at the Waco West Library. I'm so excited. So I started out just on Amazon. So when you self-publish on Amazon, they're a print-on-demand company. So it doesn't cost any money for you to do this. You upload your stuff digitally on the back end of Amazon. It's called KDP.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody sees it, if somebody buys it, they'll print one and ship it to the person. So they make money if I make money.
Okay.
But they don't lose anything if I don't.
Okay.
But what's amazing, if somebody buys a book in Australia, which my cochlear implant book, the first book that was sold was in Australia.
Really?
I have no idea how. But they have printers in Australia. So there's no shipping all over the place. They have printers all over the world. So the shipping is easy. So I started that way. But there's another platform called Ingram Spark.
Okay.
And Ingram is the company that librarians buy their books from.
Oh,
and like big box stores buy their books from. But Ingram Spark is a self-publishing platform.
Okay.
So now my books are on Ingram Spark. So anybody, anywhere can have access to my books. And now they do hardcover, where Amazon doesn't do any hardcover books.
Okay. Do they just do like the soft ones?
They only do soft cover. They'll do hardcover, but they have to be 100 and something pages. So they're not children's books. But now with Ingram Spark, I have my book in hardcover, 2 of them. The Sprinkles book and the cochlear implant book are in hardcover. And that's what libraries want.
Okay, fair.
But it's also an ebook. Oh, it's so cool. So cool. But I finally had the courage. I don't like to talk about it with people unless they ask me about it.
Why?
I don't know.
Is that part of the marketing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I remember years ago when Pampered Chef was a big thing.
Yeah.
Like, please don't invite me to your party. I don't want to go. I don't want to buy $75 worth of stuff so that you can get a prize.
Right.
Like, that is not my
or the
jam.
Hey Girl.
Oh, I
Hey
don't
girl,
like
have
that.
you tried this? Hey girl,
So,
how you been?
but that's the way I feel about sales. So, you treat people the way you want to be treated. I don't want to be treated that way. Don't sell me anything. I don't care what it is. I'm not buying it. So
if I need it, I will look for it.
Yeah. But I did go up to a lady. Her name is Stacy at the Waco West Library.
Okay.
And I was just like, hey, can you look up something for me? This is my ISBN number. Can you see if you can find it on your end? And she said, oh, yes, I can. And so that was really cool. And now
That is so cool.
I've been to the library and I got to read my book there and she ordered it. And now I just need people to know about it, especially the cochlear implant book, because I think it could really benefit a lot of people. But getting the right people to know about it, I'm not one to call to ask.
Lindsay.
I don't like that.
I'm going to tell Crystal on you.
Oh, I know.
I'm sure she's already given you a ration.
Oh, well, like the chicken book,
yeah.
for example. So you can buy it on Amazon,
Okay.
but I can buy author copies, which means I buy it on the back end,
Mm-hmm.
and then I can sell it to whoever I want to.
Oh, okay.
So my books are in gift shops in Key West. It took me like 6 months to call a shop. And I told Dan, I was like, Dan, just do it. And he's like, no, this is your
this
thing.
is you.
This is your thing. So one day I finally got up the courage and I called him. And hello, I said, hi, my name's Lindsay. Do you have time to talk right now? Or something like that. Did you
Sure.
hear how my voice
I
just
do.
went away?
Yeah.
Anyways, and so I pretended to try to sell a chicken book to him. And he's like, see, you could do it. You could do it. So I finally called, and I think I only called 2 different people,
okay.
but one of the companies has a whole bunch of gift shops around there.
Nice.
So-
Well, that was the one to call.
Yeah, but I haven't ever called anyone else.
That's fine. But that's fine.
Yeah.
Because you're in multiple gift shops.
Right. So anyway, yeah. So
So we need to call Fabled. And I thought you were on their local author shelf.
no. So I went to an event there where
Oh,
they had
that's-
all kinds of authors, but
Yeah.
my book isn't there. But at the time,
Hmm.
my book wasn't in hardcover.
Okay.
And now I have a new book. I have like 3 books come out since I went there.
Well,
So,
hmm.
yeah.
Do you have it in you to make one more phone call?
Oh, no. No. I don't.
That's fair. You're doing just fine with the 2 phone calls you made.
Yeah, that.
Oh,
I've thought about.
she's shutting down on you,
Yeah.
guys. She's like pulling her sleeves down around her hands. She's done. Lindsay out.
Yeah, I can tell you all about it, but I don't want to ask anybody to buy it. That's just not my thing.
I will ask people for you.
Go ahead.
So people listening, buy Lindsay's books. Go on Amazon. It sounds so easy. I went on there. What did I go on there? Oh, when we did the review and got you some stuff. And then I did whatever book I reviewed, I ordered.
Did you really?
It must have been the cochlear implant one because I know that story.
Okay, well, that must have been the one that you read.
Look at that.
Yeah.
So that's very cool, very accessible. And how do you feel? So you sound like you still kind of go back and forth. Are you all in?
I am all in.
Yeah. Okay.
But we can't be 100% confident all the time.
No,
Right?
That's fair.
And then so far, I haven't really gotten any hate, but I
Mhm.
don't like it when people are mean.
Nobody likes that.
I
Yeah.
don't like that.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I posted something that was like, hey, can you read this? Because I have a new book coming out. Well, actually, it's available now.
Okay.
It's an ASL word search.
oh
So
yeah.
I made all this ASL clip art. Then
Mhm.
I turned it into a font. Did you know that you can make your own font? You can for free. It's amazing. Yeah. So I made a word search with my art.
Mhm.
And I posted like the key or whatever, the alphabet
Yeah.
on an ASL page. And I was like, hey, can you read this? I want to know if you can read it.
Okay.
And I had like 183 people heart it and, thumbs
Good, I
up.
can
And
prove we're
somebody's
good.
like, wrong. That's wrong. You need to keep practicing. Not everybody likes everything. And that's
Sure.
okay, But I have to be real careful about that because I have a very soft heart.
Oh.
And I don't want to be discouraged.
fair.
And it can be, I can be easily discouraged. So
Okay.
far, it's been okay.
Okay.
But
So far,
every
so
once
good.
in a while,
Yeah. Do you find any backlash as a hearing person in the deaf community?
so far, no. Now,
Okay.
there is a separation between different deaf communities. So there's the capital D deaf community, which are people who use American Sign Language and
Okay.
that's their culture and they don't hear and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another community that's like, I can't hear. I want access to sound. I want to be like hearing people
Mm-hmm.
who have devices.
Okay.
And so they don't agree on everything. Now, my book has zero opinion. I
Okay.
don't care what you do.
Right.
I
You're
just
like,
wanna
this is just
give
what
you-
it is.
Yeah, I just want to give you the information because it's hard to understand.
Mm-hmm.
My cochlear implant book, I don't talk about sign language at all, but I do say, hey, get it if you want. Don't. Every family's different.
Sure.
But I do both. So I have the book about being deaf and using hearing devices,
Mhm.
but I also have activities and I have merch with ASL. I love sign language. And when I say ASL, I don't mean what I mean is the ASL alphabet,
Okay.
alphabet hand shapes.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't drawn any other signs, just the alphabet hand shapes.
Okay.
But I love that. And so far, everybody's been real nice.
Well, good. Okay, good. It just occurred to me because I know sometimes it can go the other way.
Mm-hmm. I did have one bad review
Mm-hmm.
on my cochlear implant book, but it actually helped me
Oh.
because she said, this doesn't explain the cochlear implant process or the surgery, and that's what I'm looking for, and there
Oh.
aren't any that do that. Well, no, mine doesn't. But now if you go on my website, I have Q&A at the bottom, any kind of questions that you can think of. And now one of my questions is, does it explain the surgery? And the answer is no, it doesn't.
Oh, very cool.
So that's been helpful.
Is that a book that you would do, or do you feel like there's not been a lot of?
I don't know enough about that.
I was like, do you feel like you could put that in layman's terms, or?
No.
Mm-mm.
Could I? Yes. Will I? No.
Probably not.
Probably not. But I would like to have some things that go along with that book. So
Okay.
if you go to the doctor and they pass out little flyers or
Yeah.
something, I'd like to make some matchy stuff that goes along with my book
Okay.
to give more information. Like, for example, I would love for my book to be given to cochlear implant candidates.
Okay.
You're considering getting a cochlear implant.
Oh,
Here,
yeah.
take this book. But then also, other questions that maybe aren't in my story, or therapy is going to go along with that. You don't get a cochlear implant and all of a sudden you can just hear.
Right.
There's
Okay.
a lot of therapy that goes into that.
I'll bet people don't realize that.
Yeah, and a certain amount of time, you have to wear it for so long. You can't just wear it at school. Kids can't just wear it at school
Mm-hmm.
and be able to be as successful as the parents would hope if they never wear it at home.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot more information that could be given to
Mhm.
families in little pieces.
Sure.
So I would love to do that.
Oh, yeah. Or like even how you're retraining your brain,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you're fixing that pathway and your brain's got to figure out how to pick it up. So if you just do it a little bit here and a little bit there, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. And you have, just completely changing topics now, you have a Christmas book,
I do.
and it is such a cool idea.
yeah.
Yeah. I
You
think
like
so.
it?
Yes. Because I think the season comes and kids are just like,
Well,
it's focused on, one or two things. But I love that, sometimes kids get kind of like go to the kids table or, seen not heard is not huge anymore. But your book is like, no,
let's talk.
join in. Yeah. And here are some ideas if you're not sure what to say.
Yeah, because if you ask your kid, how was your day at school? Fine.
Fine.
Did you do anything? Nope. Okay.
Okie dokie then.
So these Christmas questions are questions to get them thinking and to
Mhm.
get you thinking, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a book by Santa's Bed. What's he reading?
Hmm. Right?
Or does Santa ever get a tummy ache?
Right.
Where do
I mean,
the
it's a lot of
elves
cookies.
sleep? Yeah. Where do the elves sleep? What does it look like in there? Is there a wrapping paper room at the North Pole? What if you can ask Santa for a gift, but it can't be anything you can touch? What are you going to ask
Oh
him
gosh,
for?
that's a good one.
Or, hey, you get to talk to Santa and ask for a gift, but it has to be for somebody else.
Oh, I like that one.
Or at Christmas time, some people don't get to be with their family at Christmas time. Who are they?
Mhm.
Let's think about that. Doctors, nurses,
Yeah.
firefighters. How can you show how can you show their family love? So it's not just all North Pole stuff.
Sure.
It is kind of trying to think outside of you a little bit
Very
too.
community oriented.
Yeah.
Like what else is going on?
But
I
kids
love
have
that.
a lot to say
Oh,
if you have the right questions. So this book has over 100 questions that
That's
I just
great.
thought of. Actually, I was waiting for Jenny one day.
Were you?
Yep, and I was at Starbucks, and I was thinking, as a teacher, sometimes you have little bits of time that you have to fill,
Mm-hmm.
and there's not enough. I mean, so what do? You play a game, or you do head, shoulders, knees, and toes, or
Okay.
something like that. Well, sometimes it has to be quiet too.
Sure.
So I just imagine sitting with my kids, like, I've got 5 minutes, and how am I going to keep them engaged? And they can't be super loud, and they can't run around.
Okay.
I'll start asking them questions.
Sure.
And the more questions that I wrote, the more questions that came to me. And I didn't even plan that at all.
That's great.
It just comes to me. But there's actually 2 parts to that. So I have a writing and drawing prompt book with the same questions that looks like a journal.
Okay.
But then the other book is just the questions, and
questions.
it's colorful and it's pretty, and it's just a book that I would hope would be like at the kitchen table,
Yeah.
or in the car. Everybody's fighting. Let's just
That would be
talk
such
about something else.
It's a good gift.
I think so.
I think so. And you're looking for cute little voices. Is that right?
Oh, yes. Well, okay. So I want to make a promotional video about my book,
Okay.
but I want to ask kids, randomly,
Mm-hmm.
well, what is a sugar plum? Is it really a plum? And see what they say. I did ask a child. I was like, hey, what is in elf lasagna? When I think about ingredients, I'm thinking about noodles,
Sure.
sauce, cheese. So elves, maybe candy,
Mm-hmm.
frosting, ice cream, whipped cream, candy canes. Do you know what the answer was?
What?
Elves. What's an elf lasagna?
Oh,
Elves. I was like, what?
you're like, okay, I guess it could go that way.
They're so funny, but these questions are not questions that only have one answer.
Yes. And they
So-
make you think.
Yeah. So I just want to have a get together and let me just ask kids questions and make a little video of them answering on the spot.
Yeah, like kids, like I think your caption says kids say the darndest things, but
Yeah.
it's like that TV show that used to be out. And kids
Right.
would just answer what their answer was.
They're so funny, but elf lasagna is made from elves.
I mean, it tracks. It's actually a logical
Makes a
response.
lot of sense.
That's great. Okay, so you need some cute kiddos to have conversations with for your promotional video.
Yes.
Okay, I'll share that again when I get home. Did I share it earlier? I remember watching it. So we'll share that and get you some people.
That sounds great. Yeah, I already put on some Christmas clothes. I got music going. And I'm the one that's like rolling her eyes. Why is there Christmas stuff? It's not even Halloween. But here I am
Because
having
you
a
gotta
Christmas
get ready.
event in
Yep.
October.
Did you look at like venues for it?
What do you mean?
Like
have a
where
get
you want to
together?
record it?
Oh yeah, we're gonna go
Where's
to our
it?
favorite place in China Spring, Baskin Robbins.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Oh, you're
Yeah.
recording it there.
yeah.
Oh, I thought you were meeting people there.
Well, yes.
Okay.
So what my thought is, I want to have a cute little Christmas table.
Okay.
People can come and get ice cream because I work out of my house. So where am I going to ask people to come?
Right.
But they can get ice cream. We always go there, and they give really good portions. By the
They do.
way, have you noticed? But anyway, and I'm going to have some of my original coloring pages and just let the kids color and ask them stuff
Ah,
and
smart.
video them as long as it's okay with their parents. But I
Right.
want their parents to know I have a waiver that
Okay.
they signed to know, like, this is going to be on my YouTube channel. It might be on TikTok
This is great. Okay, so Baskin Robbins in China Spring.
on October 12th
Mhm.
from 1 to 3.
Oh, 1 to 3. Okay.
Yes.
I had 1 to 2 in my head, but then that's because it's 2 hours.
2 hours. Yeah. 1 to 3.
October 12th, 1 to 3.
Yes, ma'am.
So all the cute little kids with cute little answers.
yeah. And wear your Christmas clothes if you want to.
Fun. I'm excited to see what the kids answer.
Me too.
I'm still thinking about some of the questions. I'm like, I don't know what his book would be. What would Santa read?
I don't know.
I mean,
And the first book that came to my mind wasn't good.
well, and I'm like, would it be like a murder mystery? Is he into true crime?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I was thinking How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. That's a movie. Is it a book? I don't know. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
It could be anything.
Who knows? I
That's
don't know.
so great. Okay, so how can people, other than Amazon and the West Waco Library, how can people connect with you?
So I'm on most of the things. All the things.
All the
So
things.
many things.
Yes.
My handle is at His Little Light of Mine. So
Okay.
HIS, meaning God.
Mhm.
So when you type it into Google, His Little Light of Mine, Google will say, do you mean this little light of mine? No. And even if you put his plus little plus, it still says, do you mean this little light of mine?
Ah,
Ugh, makes me crazy.
no.
But I haven't learned that yet, and I really don't want to learn that.
It's okay.
So if you look up my name, Lindsay Dane,
Okay.
Dane is spelled D as in dog, AIN, then all my stuff will come up.
Yes. And Lindsay with an A,
Yeah,
not an E.
yeah.
Okay.
Lindsay Dane. That's me.
That is you. Well, very cool. Well, people, hop on His Little Light of Mine, learn some more about Lindsay and about the books. And I have all kinds of things that I'm like, ooh, and I want to know this and that. So get on there, learn about her, follow her on Instagram, Facebook, all the things.
All the things.
All the things. And be sure to check out these books. They are amazing.
Thank you.
I love your story. I love that you've landed here, and, it really is inspiring. I'm excited to share this.
I hope so. It has been so fun. And now
What?
I've expanded even more. So now I have merch.
Merch
So-
is fun.
Yeah, I have this really cute bag that's got ASL hand shapes on it.
Okay.
And I've made a whole bunch of stuff that I haven't put up for sale, but I have all kinds of ideas. But I'm definitely a butterfly. I like do this for a little bit and do that for a
Like,
little
then
bit.
I think about
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
But
That's okay. It seems to be working out.
it's so fun. I'm having so much fun.
Good. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. All right, follow Lindsay Dane, His Little Light of Mine. And that's What's Up Waco.
Do you have a topic you want to talk about? Do you have questions about Waco, the real estate market, how to sell your house, what to look for when you're buying a home? Send me an email, ericasellstexas@gmail.com. Shoot me a text, 254-447-0180. Happy to chat about it. Find me anywhere you listen to your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production. Are you a podcaster? Let's talk podcast hosting. Are you tired of your current podcast host? Need real support in a community that gets it? At Rogue Media Network, we offer top-tier podcast hosting services to help you thrive. From hosting and distribution to dedicated support, we've got you covered. Starting as low as $25 a month. Join our community of passionate podcasters today. Contact us at hello@roguemedianetwork.com.